Hello, everyone. Adam Stark here, and today I'm going to be going over the lyrics to my rap called Too Many Bars. Now, this one in particular, I definitely wanted to go off the wall and do a bunch of crazy punchlines. I kind of wanted to be unorthodox, unpredictable, and kind of crazy, kind of weird. That's how I wanted to do this one. So, what I'm going to do, as always, I am going to simply read the lyrics. I am not going to rap them. And then I will be going over any information that I feel like needs to be understood. And I will, say any hidden meanings, any Easter eggs about them. I'll be going over any of my writing processes and any, additional information. So, all right, I will get started here. Okay, the first line here. You said I would lose a battle. Your view is not in favor. Pussy, your vision is sad to see. Bitch, you lost your marbles. Man, call a player for tips on winning strategies. Okay, so this is dope. Basically, I kind of tricked the audience here a little bit. I wanted them to think that I was saying something different. So as I set up this second line here, I say, bitch, you lost your marbles. Okay. Now that is a common saying, lost your marbles. That means are you stupid? That means what were you thinking? That means are you insane? That's what that means, okay? But now of course I am also saying a Mancala player. Mancala is a game. It's a it's an old time board game where what you do is you actually have a bunch of marbles. And when you are playing the game, you want to take your opponent's marbles and you lose your marbles, in the game. Okay, so when I say, bitch, you lost your marbles, man, call a player. And then when I say this in the actual rap, I pause right after I say, man, call a player. So you immediately, when you hear this, you think, oh, that was the punchline. He's saying, bitch, you lost your marbles, man, call a player. And then you're thinking, okay, so he's going off of the game of Mancala, which is what happens in that game when you're playing it, is you would lose your marbles. When in fact, what I'm actually saying is because pause, I say to finish the line, 4 tips on winning strategies. So then you realize, oh, I wasn't saying it. I was saying a 4 word sentence conjunction, man, call a player, which sounds exactly the same as the pronoun man, call a space player. But I really said, man, call a player, 4 tips on winning strategies. Because I'm basically saying, someone who's an expert, such as myself, somebody who is actually good at something and isn't losing, somebody who isn't a loser, but somebody who's more of a winner. So it's just dope how I set that up and how I basically trick the audience and use some good associative wordplay here. On here, I contain a heightened clairvoyant sense of awareness on the throne. If my worst words were THC, even the mayor'll want to smoke the marijuana smoke. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is, you know, I am aware of my surroundings, being that I am the king. And of course, I'm going to call myself the king. I mean, what are you in hip hop for if you don't think you're the best? I mean, what if you're not striving to be the best? Then what are you in it for? You want to be somewhere in the middle? You're pretty stupid and naive if you say that. But so, anyways, then I did some wordplay here. I said, even if my worst words were THC, okay, first of all, good rhyming setup. Worst words were. Well, they sound very much alike, and it helps the sentence flow better rhythmically, of course. Now, THC is an active ingredient in marijuana, of course, obviously. Now, I made 2 things that sound exactly the same: marijuana smoke and mayor apostrophe LL, as in you're given ownership to the mayor. Mayor will, but of course apostrophe LL, so it sounds a bit more like marijuana. The mayoral and then space wanna WAANA smoke the marijuana smoke. So it sounds exactly the same, but it is 2 completely different things. And I'm saying the mayor, which of course would be a politician, which of course would mean that, they wouldn't be bothered to, be around such things such as drugs. I'm saying even my worst words, not even my best words, but my worst words, okay, as in my lowest talented words, that I've used, even if those were THC, the active ingredient to marijuana, then the mayor would want to smoke the marijuana smoke. I'm saying that's how dope it is in a literal sense. That that even the worst things I've ever written, okay, on a technical level, would be so dope that the mayor would want to get in on that action. Okay. So just some dope, structuring here. Continuing on. I can't afford to go under 100%. Well, you could spare a round of jokes. Okay, going off of that same rhyme scheme. What I'm saying is, okay, I'm always trying my best, no matter what it is with hip hop. I'm trying my best to be talented. Okay. And I'm saying, while you talking to competition, a lot of you people in hip hop here are fucking slackers, and you guys are lazy writers. You guys, you either steal, you bite from somebody, or you have a fucking ghostwriter, which is despicable, and you should never earn a fucking penny for what you do if you have one. Or I'm saying, you're using like the laziest methods where, you can say punchlines that are so weak anybody could have written them. Anybody at any age who isn't affiliated with hip hop or poetry could have written it. Like if you say, you're fat like a sumo wrestler, well, fucking good for you. Anybody could have wrote that. Okay. I'm saying you could spare a round of jokes. Now, a round meaning, a good amount of material. And I'm saying I can't afford to go under 100%. I'm proud of the fact that I try my best all the time. Okay. I have a, very long track record here on YouTube of hip hop. So, continuing on here with the lyrics. Two kicks, two jabs, four bones ruptured. Okay, I'll just stop there really quick. So, two kicks and two jabs, I'm saying, four bones ruptured. So that means every single attack I did, one, two, three, and four, a bone was ruptured every time. Okay, continuing. Blood's dripping, your hands keeping your nose covered. Okay, pretty obvious what that means there. It's not too hard to figure out. I said, then I peek around the corner, see you in the elevator, repeatedly pressing the door close button. Okay, so this is just a funny punchline. Okay, this is funny and horrific. So I'm basically saying I fucked you up in a fight. Okay, four bones are ruptured, blood's dripping, and you're keeping your nose covered. So what happens when I peek around the corner? What do I see? I see you in the elevator, and you're so scared of me that you keep on pressing the door close button in the elevator, the button that should make the door close faster than its automatic triggered response of closing after a certain time of being open. And that mechanism, you're just repeatedly pressing the door close button, like close, close, quickly, hurry up, Adam Stark's here. So just a funny ass punchline. Continuing with the lyrics here. Take over your drop shipment with the element of surprise as I sat calm, cool, and collect. Wait for my team to roll in, then I call them on cue and collect. Okay, so this part was dope because I wanted to make something sound pretty close to the same thing. So the word collect, of course, is the same at the end of each sentence, but it's the thing before it that makes it a rhyme. So calm, cool, and then column on cue. So they sound very close to the same thing. So what I'm saying is, you know, you have a drop shipment of whatever it is. You can fill in the blanks. I wasn't specific here, so that's up to you to decide. Okay, and I'm saying I'll sit here calm as a cucumber, not scared, nothing, and I'll wait for my team to roll in, and then I'll call them on cue and collect, as in whatever it is you were trying to do, your hustle for that given area. I'm saying we'll take over it, and we'll be the ones getting the collect for that. Okay, so just dope wordplay here, and putting the structure into together well. Continuing on here. As far as my team, you couldn't achieve or reach our genius credit. The rap council should start recharging us credit. Okay, so this is dope. This is again something I like to do, and I implore and I definitely appreciate everyone else in hip hop who does this as well. Is say things that sound alike, that have the same sounding sounds. I love it. I love it when you get, even if it is dramatic or overly done, as long as it actually does sound, close enough, I appreciate it. Okay, so when you say something and then you say it again, or you go to the next sentence, and then it sounds like you're saying the same thing, but it is something different. Whether it's a homophone or not, it could just be parts of a sentence that sound literally almost exactly the same. You know, it's something that I'm always striving to come up with new ones. Okay, and here was an example. Okay, taking these two ends of this rhyme here, reach our genius credit, and you have to say it a little bit fast, and recharging us credit. It sounds exactly the same, okay? So in one sentence, you got reach our genius credit. REACH space OUR space GENIUS space CREDIT. And then in the other part of the rhyme at the end of the next sentence, recharging us credit. RECHARGING space US space CREDIT. Okay, they sound exactly the same, but notice it's not the same thing. That's what makes it dope. It's not me saying, "Hi, I'm Adam Stark. Hi, I'm Adam Stark." That wouldn't be dope, of course. Of course it wouldn't, speaking the obvious. But, you know, what I did here was I found a cool way to say something that I mean and that I feel in my heart, but also to make it rhyme so closely that it's almost as if I was using the same words, but I'm not. Okay, so now I said, as far as my team, you couldn't achieve or reach our genius credit. Okay, so I'm saying is my team, as in the label, I'm very happy to be a proud to be a part of, which of course is Del Filthy Animals, one word, capital DAFILTHYANIMALS, Del Filthy Animals. So we are an association. We all met each other online. We live in all different parts of North America. And, I'm very proud of it. Maurice DeMoose, of course, is the producer who puts my songs on beats and or my raps on beats, which of course then effectively makes them into a song. And there's plenty to Foul Owl. There's many Dr. Hacks. There's many other very talented artists here, and they they're just amazing. And I was very glad that I got to be a part of them. So what I'm saying here is, as far as my team, you couldn't achieve what we've done or reach our credit. Okay, our genius credit, as I call it. So you couldn't match our level. You couldn't get up there. You couldn't do what we've done because we're too fucking talented. Okay. And then I said the rap council, which of course it's just a metaphor. I'm saying if there was an actual rap council, if there was people, in the prestigious levels of hip hop, which unfortunately most of them have passed away. Okay. And I'm saying it's if there was such thing as a rap council, that they should start recharging us credit, as in look at over time what they should do is keep recharging us, as in, okay, look at how much you know power my punchlines have had over the years, and as the years to come, how many times my lines are going to get bitten, or one of my rhyming sequences or punchlines are getting stolen, or just said in reverse or whatever. I'm saying keep giving us our credit, because we, at least as far as myself, of course, is concerned, I have made many breakthroughs in hip hop as far as, literal punchlines, and I've made my strides, I've made my marks in history in the English language. I've broken down barriers. So I'm saying, we should keep getting our credits recharged over time. It shouldn't just be a one-time occurrence. We should be reminded of how much we do and how much we have done, excuse me. Okay, but just the fact that they sound like I'm saying the same words, but I'm not. Okay, Jing, recharging, and reach our genius, recharging us. See, you have to say it at the right speed for it to work, and that's what I have came up with here. Okay, continuing here. One shot, two kills. Hence, that sure would seem I have 200% accuracy. Okay, just a very quick, dope punchline. I'm saying if I shoot one bullet, which is one gunshot, and it has two kills, you realize that means I have 200% accuracy, right? Because if I shot one bullet and it killed one person, well, that would mean, okay, 100% accuracy, you know? if I shot one bullet, missed, and then I shot the second one and it killed someone, okay, then technically speaking, out of two bullets fired, one that happened to hit its target, that would mean I have 50% accuracy. Okay, what I did was take the reverse of that and make it even more dope and saying one shot was two kills. Okay, two people died from one bullet, which would mean I'd have 200% accuracy. One bullet was fired only, one projectile, and it landed to kill two targets. So just a dope, quick punchline. I always like to, give people food for thought and, expand the horizons of how they think and view things. Continuing here, I'll make it even though it won't look the same symmetrical. Lay down my foundation. Let the cement trickle. Okay, so I'll make it even though it won't look the same symmetrical. So what I'm saying there is it's just one of those funny thoughts I always have when I remember teachers used to say this and stuff. Well, here's a symmetrical image, so it looks the same on both sides. And I'm thinking, technically, no, it isn't. It's flipped. The image is flipped. If you take a symmetrical image of a face, it's flipped. You got the eyebrow going up and then down, and then the other way you got it going down and then up or whatever. If you're looking at a face, a symmetrical image that is cut off in the middle. I'm saying, of course. Okay, but then I said, lay down my foundation, let the cement trickle. Now, of course, foundation in a literal sense would mean what is the minerals or what have you that make up that area, that ground area, of course. But then again, foundation, of course, also in another meaning, and this isn't a double meaning, double implied meaning, but I'm just explaining. Foundation can also mean, of course, okay, the foundation of of you know the foundation of this vehicle is, of course, its components, its gaskets, its trannies, its wires, its motors, its engines, and so on and so forth. Okay, well, the foundation, what makes apart me, I'm saying, I'll lay it down, as in, I'm always dropping jewels, I'm always dropping knowledge, I'm always giving you new ways to think about things, and I'm giving you new punchlines that just become so unbelievable that you didn't think I could come up with some of the stuff that I've come up with. So I'm saying, I'm gonna lay down my foundation, as in that sort of foundation, and then I say let the cement trickle. Okay, so now it's a foundation in the other sense, as in, okay, the literal foundation. So the cement is trickling down because I'm laying down the foundation, being cement. Okay, but also cement trickle sounds the same as the word symmetrical. SYMMETRCRICAL, and cement trickle, the two word conjunction, CEMENT space TRICKLE. So they sound the same, and that has never been rhymed before. I was the first one to do that, of course. So very dope. Just some food for that again. Continuing on here. With all the whack rappers these days, the universe is at a loss. But I'm undefeated. Even with ADD, you couldn't add a loss or say Adam's lost. Okay, so it's just a dope little wordplay here. Okay, I'm saying I'm undefeated. Okay, and I'm saying even though the universe is at a loss because of the whack rappers, the universe, you realize how big that is. Okay, and I'm saying of all the living things in the universe, I'm undefeated. Okay, you get that there, of course. Ego, of course. And I'm saying, even with ADD, you couldn't add a loss. Okay, ADD spells the word add. Okay, so even with ADD, you couldn't add a loss. So that's just wordplay. But I'm also saying ADD, attention deficit disorder. What would you do? You could lose focus, lose your attention. Okay, and I'm saying you couldn't even add a loss or say Adam is lost. If I had ADD, you'd think I'd be freaking lost, right? But I'm saying even with that, you couldn't say Adam's lost. And going again with undefeated, a different type of loss. Okay, continuing here. Greatness is what an Adam Stark bar SQ. Your rhymes are trash. You should be on the show bar rescue. Now, I said this line, it's very weird, very strange, unorthodox. I said this way on purpose. Okay, I am aware that SQ isn't a word. Okay, if the word that's spelled SQESQUE is really the word esque. Okay, I'm not stupid. I understand that. What I wanted to do, I wanted to see if anybody caught this when I said it. I wanted to see what people thought of this. This was just a provocative way of getting my point across. I said, greatness is what an Adam Stark bar SQ, as in what an Adam Stark bar esque. What is it? It's greatness. Okay, that's what my bars are. And I said your rhymes are trash. They should be on the show Bar Rescue. Bar Rescue is a TV show. I'm not sure if it's on anymore, but that was a show about saving these bars, not rhymes, not hip hop, but as in a bar where you go to get a drink, a building establishment. They needed help because they were losing customers or whatever. So they would rescue these bars and help them out financially and stuff. Have an outreach program. And I'm saying now bar as in hip hop bar. I'm saying your rhymes are so trash they should be on that show because your bars are not good. They're trash, as I said in the setup, that they need rescuing. Okay. And I said that and I'm saying, okay, SQ is not a word. Okay. Now, if it was a word, then you could say bar rescue and bar SQ. Another one of these, amazing things that rhyme where it sounds like you're using the same words, but you're not. But in this case, SQ is not a word. I wanted to see if anybody could have caught that the first time they heard it and realized, oh, that doesn't make sense. Where did that come from? Well, there you go. If I had ADD, you couldn't add a loss or say Adam's loss, as I mentioned in the part right before that. Still saying that Adam Stark's bars have greatness in them and that your rhymes are the trash ones. No matter what I do, I'm saying your rhymes are trash and mine are great. That was going off of that theme there. So I'm not sure if people caught that. Props to you if you did, of course. Okay, continuing on here. Okay, the next line is I'll assume your soft ass prefers a music choice soft with acoustic grooves. If you ain't looking for trouble, then don't speak my lingo, or else it's a problem you fluent too. Okay, so this is a double meaning here. No, I'm saying I'll assume that you're a soft ass person, as in you're weak, you're a punk, you're a pussy or whatever. Okay. And I'm saying that you probably don't prefer, hardcore hip hop or, whatever, heavy metal or death metal, whatever the fuck, hardcore stuff. You probably prefer, some soft acoustic grooves as in some tranquil music that puts you in a state of tranquility and in your happy place, like a lullaby or some shit. Okay, that's how soft I'm saying you are. You, as in my haters, not my audience members. But I'm saying my haters, of course, because I'm always attacking my haters with these punchlines. Continuing here, but I'm saying the double meaning. If you ain't looking for trouble, then don't speak my lingo. Okay, fluent to and the three-word conjunction flew into. So fluent to FLUENT space TOO or flew into FLEW space IN space TO. So that's the double meaning. Now, I'm saying if you ain't looking for trouble, then don't speak my lingo because if you fluent in my lingo, well then that's a problem because I said you don't want this problem with me. So don't speak my lingo, okay? Because if you're fluent in my lingo, that's a problem. But I'm also saying looking for a common saying is, you don't want trouble. Well, you flew into a problem or you flew into a fight or you flew into a conflict or whatever. So I'm saying this is a problem that I said, well, really I warned you and then I say quote or else it's a problem you flew into. So just a double meaning there, basically saying, my lingo, of course, being hip hop, in case people didn't understand that. Dope hip hop, not this whack, horrible corporate mainstream hip hop of today. But saying don't try and speak my lingo because most of you people that want to rap are horrible. You want to be a rapper, okay, but it's just not you. So just quit. Don't start it. Continuing here. No justice, it's rubbish. If something's wrong, you just nod. Why clap for a corrupt cop if he tries to hold up laws? Okay, let me stop here. This is one of my favorite lines I've ever written in my entire life. Extremely dope. Okay, this is one of my all-time favorites by far. Double meaning. Okay. Now, the point here that makes it rhyme, okay, is the last two syllables, applause and the word applause. So up space laws, UP space LAWS, or the word applause, APPLAUSE. Okay, this is why it's a dope double meaning. Okay, why clap for a corrupt cop if he tries to hold applause? Okay, so a corrupt cop, okay, if he tries to hold up laws, then why would you clap for him? If he's a corrupt cop, I said in my sentence that is preceding this one in the setup, no justice, it's rubbish. If something's wrong, you just nod. As in, person won't do it. Don't take offense to this if you're one of the people that takes action. I respect you. So just listen. I'm saying the average person, when something's wrong, you just nod. As in, you nod your head, you just go with it or whatever. Okay. Why clap for a corrupt cop? Okay. Why would you do that? If he tries to hold up laws, okay, as in he is the cop that is, letting things go, the cop that is doing the dirty. He's using these horribly racist profiling and, dealing drugs to kids, doing all these horrible things, okay? Just to, just to take advantage of the law, just to abuse his authority, his or her authority, or his, you know, his representation or his unit, whatever you want to call it, okay? Why would you clap for somebody who's doing that? You wouldn't do that. Now, here's the double meaning, of course, is to hold applause, APPLAUSE. Applause is, of course, the audience clapping. Clap, 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 clap. That is what an applause is. Now, to hold applause is a saying that means you need to be silent and do not clap. Now, even take, you don't have to, but if you take out the corrupt cop part of the sentence, why clap if he tries to hold applause? Okay, if anybody holds applause, if Adam Stark holds applause, if the president holds applause, if your mother holds applause, that means you wouldn't clap. So why clap for that person or group or whatever if they hold applause, if that's what the signal they're giving you is to hold applause? Okay, and I'm also saying why clap for a corrupt cop? Well, why clap for them anyway if they try to hold up laws? Because that's what they do. They will hold up the laws, and they will not hold them at the sense of the nation's well-being and follow the laws and the restrictions that we are given, and or you could say granted or pushed upon us with agendas or whatnot. But if you're just holding them up and saying, this one's right, this one's wrong, I'm corrupt, why would you clap for that kind of cop? Of course. And also, if that corrupt cop is literally trying to hold the applause of the audience, well, then you wouldn't clap anyway because he's doing the signal to hold applause. Don't clap now, clap at the end or whatever. So, very dope double meaning. One of my favorites I've ever written for sure. Continuing with the lyrics here. You want to be a rapper? I won't let you graduate. I'll rearrange the main stage with no floors. You at college for rap fame? I'll sabotage your craft with phenomenal force. And I'll erase your name so you'll get no credits for your major like an optional course. Okay, very dope here. I'm saying that, okay, no matter what you do, if you try and become a rapper, okay, I'm saying that 9 times out of 10 you're going to fail. Okay? It's one of those things. It's hard to explain, but when I knew I wanted to be a rapper, it was because it was the only thing I was good at, and it was something that I've been able to prove scientifically, methodically, that I am a talented rapper, and a talented MC, and a talented writer. Okay? And what I'm saying is, if you want to be a rapper, I will not let you graduate. Okay? And then I say, you're at college for rap fame. Okay, if that's the case, I'll sabotage your craft with my phenomenal force. And then I'll erase your name so you'll get no credits for, the raps you've done. I'll erase it. I'll take it off. I'll wipe it clean. You won't get your credits. And then I say a simile, like an optional course, because I mentioned you're at college, okay? An optional course, if you take that, an optional class, you don't get credits for your major if it was an optional one. If your major is, accounting, you have to take math classes 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and a couple English classes. But if you're taking pottery for fun or salsa class, that's an optional class. That's not going to help your major. You won't get credit for it. So that's the simile I'm making here. I'm saying I'll take away your name and what you've done so you don't get any credit. And it's as if you were taking an optional class for your, while you're trying to get your major, you wouldn't get any credit for that. Okay, so just a dope simile here. Okay, continuing on here. So, um, I spit expensive heat like an active kitchen with no one home. Okay, so this is dope because I don't know if many people understood this. Again, this whole rap I'm doing here, this one was meant to be crazy, weird, off the wall, unorthodox. I wanted to make a point, to make like some weird punchlines, not just you are this like a this, you are this like a this, blah blah blah. See, that is not what I wanted to do at all with this particular rap. I wanted to come up with some weird, crazy lines, set them up in a weird way, and be unpredictable and not allow people to assume they know what's coming. I wanted to just be weird about it. It wasn't so much about technical skill at this in this rap. I wanted to just be off the wall and be just insane with the way I wrote this. But anyways, okay. An active, I said I spit expensive heat. Okay. Spit, to say you spit in hip hop means like you're giving out lyrics. You're throwing down some lyrics and stuff. But I said I spit heat. Okay. That's again hip hop slang. It means good lyrics, heat, fire, whatever you want to call it. Good lyrics. Expensive heat. Okay. That means that my lyrics are talented and they're worth a lot. Okay. And I said, like an active kitchen with no one home. Okay. An active kitchen, that means the kitchen's got all the burners on, all the microwaves going, the ovens going, the deep fryers going, the food dehydrators going, and all of that. Okay. And I'm saying all of that's active, and it because that would be an expensive kitchen, of course. Active with no one home. Well, that's very expensive heat. Okay, as you can imagine, all those appliances and devices being used, and nobody's even home. That would be very expensive heat going on. So just like I said, I want to come up with a weird way to write all of these out, and that's what I did. I could have said anything else. Could have said I spit expensive heat, like the most expensive flammable drink or some bullshit, but instead I wanted to be crazy with this one. Okay, you guys know me. You guys have seen my other reps, hopefully, and you know that I am very well capable of coming up with some crazy and literal depictions and literal multiple implied meanings in my rhymes. Okay, so I am. But what I did, I wanted to be weird with this one. Now here's another line here. This is, of course, the one that rhymes with the one I just said. This also is one of my favorite lines in this rap and one of my favorite lines ever. I said, in a rap battle, I get personal. Bars remind you of backyard baseball. Hits close to home. Okay, now, hits close to home. That is a common saying, it's a phrase, and that means that whatever happened to you hurt you personally, or you took offense to it personally, even if it wasn't you involved in whatever you're hearing or reading or figuring out. It personally hurt you personally, or it made you have a flashback or something. Okay, that's what the phrase "hits close to home" means, and that's why I said in a rap battle I get personal. Now, I said my bars remind you of backyard baseball. Hits close to home. Okay, because like I said, when I say it's going to be personal, so for you, it's going to be something that quote hits close to home because it's I'm saying a personal diss to you, so you're going to feel it, you're going to hear it, and you're going to you know realize that what I was saying had personal you know degradation, personal insults towards you. It also, okay, hits in baseball, hits means that you didn't hit a foul ball, and you didn't strike, and you didn't hit a ball, and you didn't walk. Okay, hits is in baseball when the batter up at bat actually hits the ball into the outfield or in the infield somehow, without it being a foul ball within the lines. Okay, so I said remind you of backyard baseball. The reason I said backyard baseball is because that is backyard baseball is the act of playing baseball in somebody's backyard, obviously, okay, or close to their house in their neighborhood. So, of course, every single hit is going to be close to home, as in the literal home, the place of living, their shelter, their house, their apartment, their condo, their townhouse, whatever it may be. Then every one of those baseball hits is going to be close to home, but also going off of the other meaning, of course, which is getting personal. That, of course, way of saying that they hit close to home. So very dope. One of my favorite lines. Continuing here. I'll throw a fiesta, mate. What's the fee estimate? How many bars per minute? 60 minimum. I'm funny, but not running from anyone. Okay, so first, once again, I make crazy words to go together that sound exactly the same, that sound like I'm using the same words to rhyme, but they're not. So I say, I'll throw a fiesta, which of course is Spanish for party, mate. And then mate is just, it's a slang word that basically means, hey, bro, hey, dude, hey, mister. Okay. What's the fee estimate? Okay. Fee as in the cost, and then the word estimate. So it sounds exactly the same. Fiesta space mate, FIESTA space MATE, or fee space estimate, FEE space ESTIMATE. Sounds exactly the same, but they're completely different things. So came up with that one, and then here's a funny punchline. I said, how many bars per minute? 60 minimum. Okay, do you realize how funny that is? Okay, there's 60 seconds in a minute. Okay, and I said, how many bars per minute? And I didn't just say 60, which would mean 1 bar per second, but I said minimum. So that means I'd be that talented, I could come up with an average of more than one punchline per second. That's amazing. And then I said, I'm funny, but not running from anyone. So I say, it is a funny way to put it, but I'm saying I'm not running from anyone. I'm not backing from a challenge. Okay, here's the next line here. If you say I'm a clown, then I kill like John Wayne Gacy. Okay, now what this is saying is, if you're calling me a clown, okay, clown is an insult, a common insult that people use in North America. You're a clown, whatever. Okay, if I'm saying, I twist it. I'm saying, if you say that I'm a clown, you give me that diss, then I kill like John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy is a serial killer, or excuse me, was a serial killer who, guess what he was? A clown, as in the actual literal clown with the makeup and everything. He was a serial killer. He had a ton of bodies in his house, in his attic, in his garage. He was a serial killer, well documented. And I say, and he was the clown serial killer. So, okay, if you say I'm a clown, well, then this is the kind of clown you're going to end up seeing, is the John Wayne Gacy type from me. And then continuing here with the rhyme pattern. I'm cold as ice. I think LeBron James hates me. Okay, now keep in mind, this was all the way back in 2013 when I came up with this rap. So now, at that period, LeBron James was the biggest athlete moving, and he was part of the team called the Heat. Okay, now I want to make this clear. The reason why I said this line, even at that time, I imagine it's worse now. Everybody at the time in hip hop, in rap battles, and on the radio and in the songs, everybody had some kind of punchline about LeBron James and the Heat, where they would use the Heat as double meaning for guns or weapons, or heat as in, notoriety. It happened so much, it was getting annoying. So I said, okay, just for the hell of it, I'm going to do one too, but I'm not going to talk about a gun. I'm not going to talk about notoriety. So I wanted to make my own spin on this using LeBron James and Heat and everything. So I did it my way, so I didn't sound like everyone else because everyone else copies someone else. Like, I'm serious. I heard so many of these lines. Someone said it, and then a week later, another rapper would say the same line almost word for word about LeBron James and the Heat. So I wanted to use my own way of, you know, adding to it, but of course not copying from somebody else like a dipshit or like a piece of shit, a despicable, well, basically a liar, somebody who can't write their own shit. So in my case, of course, comparing heat, I said I'm cold as ice. So LeBron James hates me. Well, he's part of the Heat, and if I'm cold as ice, and cold as ice, of course, means is slang for, he's cold. Well, that means he's very dope. He's very talented. But also, cold could mean like a savage. Like, oh, he's cold. He's cold blooded because he, was a serial killer, sort of thing. Okay, so in this, hypothetical metaphor, but I'm saying I'm cold as ice. So somebody who's part of the Heat is going to hate me. So LeBron James, of course, would hate me in that case. Okay, continuing here. With these skills I rank, you couldn't match my wits willingly. You can't touch my level. I'm a hazardous intangibility. Okay, so I'm saying you couldn't match my wits willingly. You couldn't get on my level, as I always say. But in this, of course, I worded it differently every time. But I'm saying you could never get on my level, as in my haters. Okay, and then I said you can't touch my level. I'm a hazardous intangibility. A hazardous intangibility is something that will literally harm you and possibly kill you if you come into close contact with it. Okay, so that's why I'm calling myself that. So not only will you not get on my level, but you're not going to want to because you'll get destroyed. Okay, continuing on here. My next bar isn't offensive, it's perspective. You suck cock for tickets. The game urgent? No, I mean you suck cock for tickets. The gay merchant. Okay, this is funny as hell, and it's by far one of the favorite lines I've ever came up with. So once again, going off of sounding the same, but using completely different words and different meanings, but they sound like I'm using the same words. Okay, so the sound's the same. The game urgent and the gay merchant. So the first one, the game urgent, THE space GAME space URGENT. And then, of course, what it rhymes with, the gay merchant, THE space GAY space MERCHANT. Okay, in the word game, GAME, it has the GAY gay sound. And what you do is basically I keep the M sound at the end of the word game and the M sound at the beginning of the word merchant, and urgent and merchant sound the same except there's an M, of course. So I just had to move those sounds together to basically blend them in so it sounds the same. The game urgent, the gay merchant, and use it at the same speed. And then I said, okay, if you're someone, like I say in this bar, who has to suck cock for tickets, okay, then I could ask you either, is the game urgent? Urgent means important, by the way, in case you didn't understand that. Didn't know what that word meant. Okay, as in, if you're willing to do that for tickets, to suck cock to get some tickets, then is the game that urgent? Is it that important? Okay, or am I asking you, are you the gay merchant? A merchant is somebody, by definition, who is making a purchase on something, who is bartering, who is, you know, making a deal, who is buying something, who is, in the transaction. Okay, and if you're sucking cock for tickets, then you know what kind of merchant you would be? The gay merchant, of course, because you'd be the merchant who deals with transactions in the gateway. And then I said my next bar isn't offensive, it's perspective. In other words, if you're offended by what I was saying, that's your fault. There's nothing offensive about it. I didn't say anything about you should be harmed if you do. I didn't say anything about, you know, screw you if that's what you want to do. I didn't say anything about that, period. It's perspective. I'm saying which one? Is it the game is urgent or are you the gay merchant? Which one is it? That's all it is wordplay. And I mentioned it's not offensive, it is simply perspective. That's all these are. These same sounding words put together cleverly by me so that it would sound like I'm using the same words when I'm not. Okay, continuing on here. I'm enforcing some regulations for rap battles and rap duels. Be flawless or I'll separate your words and reverse them if you slip up in my pupils. Okay, so now I'm saying you got to be flawless against me in a battle, okay? You can't slip, you cannot stumble. You need to be at your A game going against me, be at your best. Because I certainly won't mess up, is my point, okay? I take the competition very seriously. Now I'm saying, okay, if you're not flawless, I'll separate your words and reverse them. Now, that's basically saying that I'll make you eat your words, okay, which is a common saying, which means you're going to regret, taking this challenge. You're not going to like what happens, okay? But I'm also, if you take what I say literally, I'll separate your words and reverse them, okay? Well, the word slip up, if you take it around, excuse me, if you reverse it, the spelling, it spells the word pupils, okay? Now, obviously, my pupils are what I'm watching you with, the inner part of my eye, okay? So if I separate your words, because pupils is one word and slip up is two words, okay? And then I said reverse them. Well, there you go. I did it right there. Slip up pupils. I separated them and I said it backwards. It was just dope because of the fact that I never had heard this done before at this point in time back in 2013. And let me make sure. Yeah, 2013. So when it happened, I was like, okay, this would be a nice way for me to make use of this word in reverse, because many words have been used in reverse, of course, and turned into punchlines too. So what I like to do is the fact that I found a new one that at least I don't believe has ever been used in hip hop before. I was happy to use it and I wanted to put it into this line in this context. Okay, continuing here. Blaming others for your failures, like you got stabbed in the back, that's preposterous, but you pretend like your story should sell. I'm tired of that acupuncture therapy could help. Okay, this is dope because I'm saying two things sound exactly the same. Acupuncture therapy and act you punk sure therapy sound exactly the same. So first, acupuncture therapy. ACUPUNCTURE space THERAPY, or the five-word conjunction ACT space YOU space PUNK space SURE space THERAPY. Okay, so what I'm saying is blaming others for your failures. Okay, I'm saying you should never do that ever. I absolutely hate when people do that, when you blame someone else for your failures. Yes, we're all guilty of it at some point, but I'm saying you don't want to do that, okay? I'm trying to teach a lesson here. Don't blame others for your failures. Okay, so I'm saying that's preposterous, but you pretend like your story should sell. Okay, now I'm saying, I also say, like you got stabbed in the back. Acupuncture therapy is, of course, the act of putting a bunch of, I don't know if you want to call them needles or, but whatever it is, it's some kind of a device that pokes you in every part of your body, pretty much, or at least most of it, majority of your body. So then, technically, obviously, the back would, of course, be somewhere where you get stabbed in, and literally in the act of doing an acupuncture therapy session. Okay. So I'm also saying I'm tired of that act, you punk. Sure, therapy could help. As in normal therapy, not acupuncture therapy, but normal therapy, because that could help you out. That could help you get to the root of your problems and help you out in life and help you figure out a better way to live and maintain and so on and so forth. Everybody knows that about therapy. So really, when you first heard this first, you thought I said acupuncture therapy, but really I said I'm tired of that act. You punk. Sure. Space. Wait. Pause. Therapy could help. Okay. stabbed in the back, acupuncture therapy. Those were just wordplay elements, word association that I added to spice the line up. But I was basically saying, I'm tired of that act, you punk. Sure, therapy could help. Okay. As in, stop blaming others for your failures. You pretend like that story is going to work out for you, but it isn't. Okay. Continuing here with the final line. When it comes to hip hop, you give off this sound of a lost villager's slang. If I told you to write down and recite loud something dope, you couldn't break out the bars with John Dillinger's gang. Okay, so this is just extremely dope. What I'm saying is, okay, to break out the bars. Okay, that's a saying, and it means to if I told you, because I said in the setup to write down and recite loud something dope. That means if I told you, here's a pen, here's a paper, write down some dope rhymes and I want to hear them. As in break them out. I want to hear what you got. Okay. I said you couldn't even break out the bars as in use the pen or the utensil I gave you and the paper, and I gave you time to write down some dope rhymes. I said you couldn't even do that, as in the other way of putting it, break out the bars. You couldn't even do that with John Dillinger's gang. Now, John Dillinger, one of my favorite people that ever lived, he was the notorious. He was the first public enemy on what's his name? J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI. He was the first public enemy on the FBI's most wanted list. He was in the Midwest and in Wisconsin and Chicago, and he was he was robbing banks during the Great Depression, and he when he was robbing these banks, he never I actually know a lot about him, but he never robbed the people. In fact, he like the people in the banks, he never took their money. And they actually have quoted him saying, "I'm not here for your money, I'm here for the bank's money," to the people in the bank that were customers that were putting their hands up. You know, he robbed the banks themselves. Okay. And people looked at him as kind of a hero, like a folklore hero, because he was getting rich off of these banks that weren't suffering from the Great Depression like assholes. And here's the point of where it comes to this. John Dillinger has escaped from jail many times in his career, or in his, I should say, his life. Okay, he's escaped from jail. He even escaped from prison. He was very crafty about doing it. Him and his gang, of course, he didn't do it by himself. But yes, he escaped prisons. He escaped bars. Bars is another word for prison or for jail. He was able to break out the bars. Okay. At break out of the bars, he escaped prison many times. Him and his gang, John Dillinger's gang, did. So I said you couldn't break out the bars, and then I'm comparing it to John Dillinger's gang because his gang was great at breaking out of bars, which is prison, breaking out of bars. And I said, if I gave you time to write down and recite loud something dope, you couldn't break out those bars. And I said, to make it even worse, the fact that you can't do it, you couldn't do it with a group who is commonly known for breaking out of bars. Okay. So just a very dope comparison there. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed, everybody. If you ever have any questions you would like to ask me, feel free to comment or send me a message. I'll be glad to help you out and answer any questions, to read any critiques you may have, any information you don't feel like I got to, or you think I needed to talk more about something. Please let me know, and I will definitely help you in any way I can. Thank you very much for listening.